Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dead Funny Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, joined today by my co-hosts, Kelsey and James. That's right. We only got a couple people here today.
It's okay. We'll have a good conversation anyway. I am under the impression you want to rant. I can feel it.
It's not a rant.
The energy.
It's not a rant. So.
Oh.
Canter died. I'm just kidding.
This is no. You would not tell us that way.
Not that way. No.
No.
So we were up till 3 o'clock in the morning last night. By we, I mean me and my company on New World. Kelsey's not cool enough to come hang out at 3 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, she needs this thing called sleep. Like, I was a fucking loser. Anyways.
I'm a broken mortal. I'm sorry.
So we got this guy that we added into the company, and his name, well, I don't know his actual name, but his in-game name is Kevin. And so he has this robot that he, like, programs shit into, and like basically he said he uses it for emails is what he uses it for. So it will just, like, he'll put in like what he wants the email to be about, and then it will write an entire fucking email for him, and then he'll just copy paste it and send it off. So like he literally does that. So he's like, I love this thing. He's like, there's times where I'll just make it tell me stories. So being sleep deprived and delirious, we decided we're gonna throw a couple things in there, and I have these stories for you guys which are fucking amazing. So
I'm delighted.
The first story, once again, all written by a program. First story is the origin backstory of Clouded Blade. Clouded Blade was, once again, we're playing New World, so it's all set in fantasy land. Clouded Blade was once a simple swordsman, wandering the land and taking on any challenge that came his way. But everything changed when he stumbled upon the ground of the group of holy warriors. Jeez, I can't read. Group of holy warriors known as Seraph's Blade. Impressed by his skills and bravery, the leader of Seraph's Blade offered him a place in their ranks. Clouded Blade quickly rose through the ranks, becoming a master swordsman and a valuable asset to Seraph's Blade. His skill with the blade was unmatched, and he led the group on many successful missions to defeat the evil and protect the innocent. Eventually, the leader of Seraph's Blade passed away, and Clouded Blade was chosen as his successor. He now leads Seraph's Blade with honor and valor, continuing their mission to protect the weak and fight against evil. Though the road ahead is perilous, Clouded Blade is determined to see Seraph's Blade succeed no matter the cost. So it's like, oh, that was pretty cool. He goes, all right, now I'm going to throw into the program, Clouded Blade dies. What happens? So here's Clouded Blade's death. As the years passed, Clouded Blade's legend grew, and he became known as one of the greatest warriors the world had ever seen. But despite his impressive skills, and I should say, Kevin does not like me, and I say that like as in like we just argue a lot, not like bad. Like we're good friends, but we bicker 24/7. It's fucking hilarious. So he like literally the first thing he said is, "This thing is being way too fucking nice to you right now." As it was.
I was
writing.
gonna say,
yeah,
the origin story was real friendly, and I'm
real
like,
friendly.
I feel like that's gonna be the thing you tell people, even though we all know it's not fucking true.
So Clouded Blade's legend grew, and he became known as one of the greatest warriors the world had ever seen. But despite his impressive skills and unwavering determination, even Clouded Blade was not immune to the ravages of time. As he grew older, Clouded Blade's strength began to wane, and he found it increasingly difficult to keep up with the demands of leading the Seraph's Blade. Despite this, he refused to step down, determined to see the group through to the end. Tragically, during a particularly grueling battle against a powerful enemy, Clouded Blade was gravely injured. His enemy had dealt him a mortal blow, and he was losing blood fast. Despite the best efforts of his comrades, they were unable to save him. In his final moments, Clouded Blade could feel the life slipping away from him. He closed his eyes, knowing that his time was up. But even as he lay there, dying on the battlefield, his thoughts were of Seraph's Blade and their mission to protect the innocent. The Seraph's Blade were devastated by the loss of their leader, but they knew that Clouded Blade would want them to carry on without him. And so they then vowed to continue the fight against evil in his memory, determined to honor his legacy and ensure that his name was never forgotten. So I just fucking like responded in the chat because he's posting all this in chat so everybody in company can see this with like this just this crying smiley face, like not laughing but just a crying one. And so then he decided to do Sadude, which Kelsey's met and is as we call our mascot. This was fucking.
I love Sadude.
This is where it starts getting good. Sadude was once a wandering entertainer, traveling from town to town and bringing laughter and joy wherever he went. But his life changed forever when he stumbled upon the group of holy warriors known as Seraph's Blade. Impressed with his quick wit and skills as a performer, the leader of Seraph's Blade offered Sadude a place in their ranks as the court jester. Sadude accepted, eager to use his talents to serve a higher cause. For many years, Sadu traveled with Sarah's blade, providing them with much needed moments of happiness in the midst of their grueling battles against evil. He became an integral part of the group, and his antics often lifted the spirits of his comrades, even in the darkest of times. Though he was not a warrior like other members of Sarah's Blade, Sadu proved himself to be a valuable member of the group, using his quick thinking and clever wit to outmaneuver the enemies and keep his comrades safe. And in the end, he proved that even the smallest and seemingly weakest member of the group could be a true hero. This computer starts getting spicy. It starts getting spicy. Ooh. So then he's like, who should I do next? And I was like, well, do Fiona the Red. I was like, because I shit on this guy all the time whenever he's online. Like, we just talk shit to each other 24/7. So he's like, all right, well, give me some things to say. And so I'm like, useless, fucking, just terrible fucking fighter, all this other stuff. So it goes... And once again, obviously, his name is Fiona the Red, so it calls him a she. Fiona the Red was once a member of Sarah's Blade, but she quickly revealed herself to be nothing more than a bitter, angry misanthrope. She was constantly at odds with her comrades, lashing out at them with sharp words and a fiery temper. Despite her obvious talents and skills, she became known as the most difficult and unpleasant member of Seraph's Blade. Far from a heroic warrior, Fiona was a miserable, spiteful person who brought nothing but negativity and toxicity to the group. She was a constant drain on her comrades, sapping their morale and causing endless conflicts and strife. In the end, Fiona's bitterness and negativity proved to be her undoing. She was unable to overcome her own inner demons, and she was cast out of Seraph's Blade in disgrace. And though she once had the potential to be a great hero, she squandered it with all her petty anger and bitterness. In the end, she was nothing more than a washed-up has-been, unable to find her place in the world or find redemption for her many failings. And I was just like, yo! And I added him as like, big fucking flapjack facts, my guy. And so, of course, he gets on and sees it, and he's just like, okay, I fucking hate all of you. So, it gets better. So then, we just did an offensive war, which we lost. And so he had it tell the war, and he also told the thing, like, also remember the characters that were just created. So it literally remembered us and put us in this story. So it tells the war of the battle. It says, the battle between Sarah's Blade and the faction of Price Check was fierce and intense, with both sides giving their all. Despite being vastly outnumbered, the Sarah's Blade fought bravely and fiercely, holding their own against the powerful opponents. Clouded Blade, the leader of Sarah's Blade, fought with all of his might, his sword flashing like lightning as he battled against the enemy warriors. Sadu, the court jester, used his quick wit and clever tricks to outmaneuver the enemy, causing chaos and confusion on the battlefield. Fiona the Red, despite her bitterness and anger, fought with fierce determination, using her skills as a warrior to protect her comrades. And then Sensei was like, dude, add V in there. So he added Sensei in there. And so it just made up a story for Sensei. So it's like, and Sensei Zero, the muscular warrior known for his brute strength and strategic mind, fought with the ferocity of a lion, cutting down the enemy's ranks with ease. Despite the majority of Seraph's Blade being recruits, they performed admirably in the face of the enemy. They fought with courage and determination, refusing to back down even in the face of overwhelming odds, and thought that they were ultimately overpowered. And though they were ultimately overpowered by the faction of Price Check, they managed to hold their own and make the enemy pay heavily for the price of their victory. In the end, the battle was a narrow defeat for Seraph's Blade. They had fought valiantly, but they were no match for the might of the faction of Price Check. Though they had lost many of their comrades, including the mighty Sensei Zero, they had gained the respect and admiration of their enemies, and they would always be remembered as the heroes who fought bravely to the very end. And then he put, so then we were like, all right, now we got to get into like intercompany romances. And I was like, so Sensei and Old are always playing together. Let's fucking get it. Let's get some fanfic going. So it goes, because they're always playing OPR together. So it goes, Sensei Zero and Old met in the midst of battle, their swords clashing as they fought side by side against the common enemy. Despite their differences in age and experience, they quickly formed a bond, their skills as warrior complementing each other perfectly. As they fought together, they grew closer. Their mutual respect and admiration deepened into something more, and in the heat of battle, they realized they had fallen in love. After the battle was over, Sensei Zero and Old decided to leave the life of warriors behind and start a new life together. They settled in a small village where they were welcomed with open arms by the people. They worked hard, using their skills to protect the village and its people from harm. As the years passed, Sensei Zero and Old grew old together. Their love for each other never fading, and their bodies may have been worn by the passage of time, time, but their spirits remained young and strong, forever bound by the love that had blossomed in the heat of battle.
Jesus Christ.
Like, bro, it was going off. So then Sadu decides that he's gonna fucking ask Kevin for the bot. So then he gets the bot and decides that he's gonna make a gay fanfic of me and Kevin. So here is me and Kevin. Once upon a time, he put it in modern day though. Once upon a time, Clouded Fantasy and Kevin met at a bustling cafe in the heart of the city. They were both there to meet friends, but as fate would have it, they ended up sitting at the same table. At first, they were both shy and didn't say much to each other. But as the conversation at their table grew, Clouded Fantasy and Kevin found themselves drawn to each other. They discovered they had a lot in common. Once again, me and this guy just do nothing but bicker and talk shit to each other all the time. They had discovered that they had a lot in common, and before long, they were deep in conversation, laughing and joking together. As the evening wore on, Clouded Fantasy and Kevin realized that they had developed a strong connection. They exchanged numbers and made plans to see each other again. Over the next few weeks, they went on many dates and spent countless hours getting to know each other better. They enjoyed long walks in the park, cozy dinners, and their favorite restaurants, along with lazy Sunday mornings spent in bed. As they grew closer and both began to realize that they had fallen in love, they took the next step of their relationship and moved in together. Years passed and Clouded Fantasy and Kevin were happier than they had ever been. They supported each other through all life's up and downs, and their love only grew stronger with each passing day. They knew that they had found a soulmate in each other, and they were grateful for the chance of meeting at that cafe that had brought them together. I was just all like, fucking beautiful. So he didn't post this story, but Kevin's girlfriend was in the lobby. So then she goes, well, what about me? And so he types in, how does Kevin's girlfriend feel about Clouded Fantasy and Kevin's new relationship? And it goes on this whole thing about how she was jealous at first. Then she started to fall in love with me. Then we became a throuple. Yeah, we were a fucking...
Very nice.
Yeah. This whole fucking thing. And I was like, no fucking way. But this, by far, was the best story. He goes, okay, so I'm going to phrase Seraph's Blade as if it's a child. And that you guys are going through a nasty custody battle. The 4 leaderships are. So me, JJ, Tony, and Flap. This shit had me dying. I was crying so fucking bad last night. The custody battle for their child, Seraph's Blade, was a long and emotional legal battle between 4 people who all claimed to have parental rights over their child. J.J. Lewis, the biological father of Seraph's Blade, argued that he was the child's rightful parent and that he should have sole custody. He claimed that he had been active and involved father from the beginning, providing for the child's needs and supporting its development. So I don't know why it chose Flap over Dawn, because Dawn, it also called Dawn a girl, but it said Flappination, the child's mother, countered J.J. Lewis's argument by saying that she had been equally involved in raising the child and she should have equal rights to the custody. She claimed that she had provided a loving and nurturing environment for Seraph's Blade and that it was just as much her child as it was J.J. Lewis's. So then it talks about Dawn, which is Tony. Dawn Shadowborn, a close friend of the couple who had helped raise Seraph's Blade, argued that she should have custody of the child as well. She claimed that she had a strong bond with the child and that she had been a constant presence in its life, providing support and guidance. Clouded Fantasy, a distant relative of the child, claimed that he had rightful claim to the custody based on their familial relationship. He argued that he had always been there for Seraph's Blade and that he was the best choice to raise the child. The custody battle raged on for months, with each side presenting their arguments and evidence to the court. In the end, the judge ruled in favor of joint custody between J.J. Lewis and Flappination, recognizing their equal contributions to the child's upbringing. However, the other parties appealed the decision, and the battle continued for years with no clear resolution in sight. The best part was like we were posting all these stories, and then out of nowhere, Flap gets on 3 o'clock in the morning and goes, "What the fuck is happening?" And I was like, wait, the story that he just read us? Wait, and then Sudden posted it, and I was fucking, Flap was like, of course that would be the mom. Like, fucking of course. Oh my god. It's fucking great. That's what we were up doing last night. It was fucking
I think
amazing.
one of my favorites in that is that, like, as you are dying, you are only thinking of Seraph's Blade. And, like, knowing you as a person, I'm like, I'm delighted to know that in your real life, if you were actually dying, like, I do think there are a couple other things that might cross your mind.
Just a couple. But
Like,
yeah, that shit was
children.
fucking hilarious.
I was
Significant
waiting on
other,
to say that
friends.
your hair was gonna be Kevin. That will leave Sarah's Blade in the hands of Kevin.
I keep laughing at Kevin just
Oh
because,
man.
like, there's so many gamer names out there, and like,
Mm-hmm.
just like we got Sudden, we got Flappination, we got like Clouded Blade, and then there's Kevin. It's just perfect. It's just
So,
excellent.
Suddude has started, I don't know why, but he has started this fucking rumor that he's seen a picture of me and that I'm only 5'3". Like, it's just this fucking thing that he's passed around the company. So every time I talk to, like, new members, they'll be like, aren't you, like, really short or something? So he threw that into the computer. So this is what the computer came back with. Cloud of Fantasy was a short man, standing only at 5'3", and he often struggled with his feelings of inadequacy and insecurity based off his height. Growing up, Cloud of Fantasy was constantly teased and bullied by his classmates for being short, and he often felt like an outsider. He tried to compensate for his lack of height by being the smartest and most accomplished person in the room, but he still couldn't shake the feeling that he wasn't good enough. As an adult, Cloud of Fantasy continued to struggle with his height. He found it difficult to find clothes that would fit him. He often felt self-conscious in social situations. He avoided going to crowded places and avoided confrontation, and he didn't want to be seen as weak or vulnerable because of his height. Despite these struggles, Cloud of Fantasy refused to let his height define him. He worked hard to become a confident and self-assured, and he learned to embrace his height as a unique part of who he was. He learned to stand tall and proud, no matter what the others thought of him. He eventually found happiness and fulfillment in his life. And then he just posted at the end, "This is company lore, by the way." I was just like, "Fuck yourself, dude."
All right, I now hope Dead Funny makes it big because
Oh,
the fact that you
my
were
gosh.
5'3" will be just in the zeitgeist
It's not
forever.
true.
Yeah, we all know
Not
he's
even
5'4".
close. Yeah.
He literally tells people that I sent him a picture of me standing next to a door frame and my face is right at the doorknob, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. He's so fucking dumb. Oh my god,
Amazing.
he's the fucking worst. I love him to death, but he's the worst.
Amazing.
I'm just sitting here like fucking because downtime happened, and I was like, well, I didn't think I was going to be able to play any Crisis Core anytime soon, but since downtime is up, I guess I'm going to play some Crisis Core. So I
Yeah.
started playing Crisis Core, and then I just have this constantly going on where they're fucking making these stories and reading them to me before they post them. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, dude.
And you know the bot's remembering that. Like, it's going to remember you. It's going to remember you being 5'3", you being
Yep.
bullied growing up, and now that you're in a throuple.
Every time, I kid you
So
not, every
pleased.
time I talk to Sa, the height changes. Like, every single time, the height just fucking changes. Sometimes I'm
Does it get
shorter.
lower every
Sometimes I'm
time,
bigger.
or,
Yeah,
like-
sometimes I'm shorter. Sometimes I'm taller. Like, it just fucking decides what it wants to do, so. Oh,
Incredible.
God.
I mean, I love it. I thoroughly encourage this.
It was fun. It was fun. I was laughing my ass off. I was like, fucking post on full send, dude. Full send.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's fantastic.
Shit was fucking funny. I was like, I'm gonna have to make a channel just for this because they were posting it in like general discussions, so fucking everybody's seen them. Maybe they don't want to see them, but I was like, I'm gonna have to make a fucking channel thread so you guys can just fucking make up your fucking daily Sarah's Blade stories.
Incredible.
Because the whole thing started because there's this random green guy that's on our server, and apparently that's what he does. He's a video game journalist of specifically New World. So he sits there.
Oh, interesting.
Well, but he's not like a real journalist. Like, he wants to be a journalist. Like, this is like a hobby. This is not like a job.
Got it.
So he
Okay.
basically sits there and watches people's live stream of wars, and then he gives his own take on like why the war went wrong, da 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 da, so on, blah 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 blah. Because he did. That's how this whole thing started. Because like they posted that, and I was busting the dude's chops. I was like, wow, dude. I can't imagine being that bad at the game that's the only place you feel that you fit in is by making up fake stories about these fictional battles that go on. And I was just talking shit. So they're all like, well, we got this robot that could do it. I wonder if he can make a better story than he could. And that's how the whole fucking thing started. So they were just fucking putting him in there to see if they would make better stories. So, although his last story that he put out was about our fucking war. So he calls it the Freelancer News. It's a Google Doc that he makes.
Oh God.
Yeah. So December 12th, Brightwood. The final deck he didn't even put that right. So the final December 12th war is a Brightwood attack by Sarah's Blade. I viewed the war from the defense side via so-and-so stream. The Marauders were on defense in the first wars with Covenant on offense, leaving full teams to fight again for this rematch. The Marauders' force came out in a mass assault to the Sea Point, which fell at 28:52. The Covenant focused. The Marauder Hill team ensured that they would lose C, but the Marauders were able to respawn heavy faster. Without the healers up to keep them, the Covenant team then came through with several detonates and putrefying screams to cave in and assault the Marauders. Every time a new crowd of respawns rushed in, the Covenant swiftly identified the healers and called their names. The well-oiled machines of the Covenant kill teams arranged to kill the healers first and weaken the Marauders' bruiser teams. Which, to be fair, I didn't have anything to say about his reporting on this one. I was like, he's literally telling you guys what we were doing wrong. I mean, once again, 75% of our fucking war was people's first war. So it was a bunch of rookies. It's going to happen. After 3 or 4 failed assaults, the Marauders finally pushed through this technique at 22 minutes in, taking B point to the credit of Seraph Blade's shot caller. This guy.
This guy that I've shit on multiple times in this podcast said a nice thing about me, so let's look at me for a second. Like,
they seemed to realize how the Covenant was taking them and adjusted their tactics and pulled their team tight enough to stun and protect the healer line, but also try not to clump themselves into death balls. Around the 15-minute mark, the Marauders began to trickle into musket fire on the Covenant. A few guys there ran into the a bunch of other shit, basically leading to the fact that we lost. So, yeah. We didn't capture the last point. We captured A point, B point. We never captured C point. So, was what it was. But, yeah, so that's what he does. He literally, that's all he does. And so we were, like I said, busting his chops about it. And fucking that's whenever Kevin was like, I have this bot, right? This is what it does. And let's see what happens. So... That's what happened.
It also writes gay fanfic, though, so let's keep that in mind.
Yeah, for sure. It wouldn't get sexual, though. He tried to see if it would get sexual with Sensei and Old, and it was like, sorry, I'm not going to do that. And he was just like, oh, damn. So it will only do love stories. It won't go sexual. So I was like, all right.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm not complaining. I'm just curious, like, who designed the bot and why they put that limitation on it.
Yeah, they were just like, we're not going to do this. And we're not going to do this.
That's not an inherently bad thing. Like...
Right, exactly, for sure. So
there's enough sex, you can find it, I promise. You'll be okay. You don't need this bot to do it.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, that was what kept me up till 11 o'clock in the morning. That was a lot of fun. That and Crisis Core.
Did you say 11?
Oh, I'm sorry, 3 o'clock in the morning. I said 11.
I was about to say, did you not fucking sleep?
Sorry.
I was ready to, like, fight you.
3 o'clock in the morning. I went to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, was up and ready for work at 8:30. So, yeah. That and Crisis Core. I was having fun with Crisis Core, which I almost got really upset. Like, fucking Best Buy is known for one thing and one thing only, steelbooks. Like, that's all they fucking do is steelbooks. And so they were the only person doing anything for Crisis Core. And it was if you ordered it through them, well, that's not true. Square Enix was, but they were only doing it for Japan. You fucks. So, for fucking Best Buy, it was if you ordered it through Best Buy, you at least got the steelbook. If you did it through Japan and you ordered from Square Enix directly, you got the Zack statue, which I already have coming separately anyway, and the sealed box of all Eris letters to Zack while he was completely gone. And I was like, oh, I want the box, but I can't read it anyway because I don't know how to read Japanese. But I want the box, so maybe at some point somebody will fucking resell it on eBay or some shit and I can fucking pick it up then. But I was able to get my steelbook. At first, I wasn't able to because, like, I was literally like, I was looking at my email and it's like, hey, by the way, your order's ready. Come get it. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll go pick up my Crisis Core. And then it was like, oh, by the way, it's only partially ready. And I was like, the fuck does that mean? Like, it's supposed to be the game and the fucking steelbook. What's wrong? And so I waited like 6 hours and I never got an email. And so then I called, and Best Buy now, by the way, they don't, you can't call the store anymore. You can't directly call the store anymore. Like, you get rerouted to a call center now. Best Buy no longer takes customer calls in the store. They have a call center that takes care of it now. They even asked the lady, I was like, is this a call center? Like, I was trying to get a hold of the store, and she's like, yeah, no, we don't have calls go to the store anymore. They all come directly to us. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I never thought Best Buy was that busy to where they couldn't have one person fucking take customer calls, but whatever. It's not my fucking company. I don't care. So,
yeah.
She's like, yeah.
4 people that are just talking in the corner. Like, right. Okay, whatever.
So she's like, so yeah, it looks like, basically your steelbook isn't ready and they don't know when it's going to come in. So what you could do is you could ask somebody in the store. And I'm like, that's what I tried to do. That's literally why I called. So what you're telling me is I have to now waste my time to go drive down there to ask somebody in the store because you can't give me the information and I'm not allowed to talk to the store people anymore.
Can you just like forward my call to someone in the store? Like, they have phones. Send my call there.
Yeah, so I was like, do you see the flaw in your system? So I show up because I asked her, I was like, can I at least go pick up Crisis Core and like they'll hold the fucking steelbook for me whenever it comes in, then I go pick that up. She's like, oh yeah, that should be okay. And I was like, should be or will be? Like, I paid for it, so
yeah,
I would like
those
to know
are two different things.
So I was like, fuck it, I'll just go to Best Buy, fucking go see. So I went to Best Buy, and the dude went to grab the game, and I saw him grab something else. I was like, does he have my steelbook? And he walked over, and sure enough, he had my beautiful fucking steelbook. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so pretty!
Right? Fucking gorgeous. My beautiful fucking steelbook, and then the back is just the Buster Blade with Crisis Core on it. So, and then the inside is the actual background, or the cover of the original from the PSP. So, fucking love it. But yeah, so, and he's all like, I was like, oh man, I didn't think I was going to get my steelbook. He's like, yeah, we've been giving these out all fucking day today. And I was like, how many people pre-order? There was like 100 people pre-order Crisis Core. I was like, damn, like, let's go, dude. Just at my Best Buy, like, fucking go. But even the cover of the new one's pretty dope. Like, with Cloud, Sephiroth, and Zack all there.
Yeah.
So, it looks really good. I've been having some fun with it, for sure. So.
What do you think? I did not purchase or pre-order Crisis Core. I was kind of waiting for your review.
So yeah, I was playing it a little bit last night and then playing it a little bit today. James jumped in early with me and he was watching me play a little bit of it as well. So for a PSP game to be remade to the level that they did an amazing job. Like, the game looks fucking gorgeous. Like, Zack looks good, Sephiroth looks good, everybody looks good. Obviously, not a big fan of the voice actor of Zack. I've put that out many times. Now that I'm hearing him just more concentrated versus just little shorts, I'm even more not a fan of him. Really fucking sucks. And I do see why they didn't add a Legacy edition, because there are parts of the story where they did actually change the dialogue to make it make more sense. Like, for instance, whenever Sephiroth and Angeal and Genesis are all fighting on top of the Junon cannon, and Genesis makes all those blasts come back and hit Sephiroth, and then he charges up one, and Angeal stops him. In the original, he says, "Stop it, you'll kill us all." To where, in this one, he goes, "Stop it, do you really want to damage the training room?" It's like complete total fucking audio track. So it's like they can't really do the Legacy, because then it's like, it'd be different if it was the same dialogue, because then the words are going to stay the same on the screen because there's subtitles that you can't turn off. Subtitles are just up so that way you don't miss anything. So it's like they can't really change that. It wouldn't match with the mouse. So they did a lot of different changes here or there. I haven't made it all the way through, but a lot of the changes they did I really, really like. So they added in this mission system where you go to a save point at any point while you're playing the game. You can go to a save point and pull up this mission system, and you'll just unlock missions passively. And then as you beat certain missions in here, you'll unlock more. And it's all just side shit. Like, it's nothing to do with the main story. So there's just a shit ton of content for you to do over here. It's kind of like in the remake, whenever you were doing like the Chadley VR battles and shit. So you're getting put in an instance to go take care of a fucking mission, which is pretty cool. And then they also had the Aeon fights like that as well, with Bahamut and Odin and so on and so forth. So that is really, really cool in my opinion, that they didn't have the first time. And then just the fights are, well, the entire combat system's completely redone. Like, it's nowhere near as bad as it was. Like, the old one is like kind of a lock-on system, and Zack would kind of like auto-attack himself. There were a couple things that you could make him do, but he would auto-attack himself. This is a hack and slash. It's not on the same level as the remake, obviously, but it's pretty fucking good. Like, it's like you can actually control every single part of the battle now. Zack does not auto-attack anymore. You control the entire battle. You get in there, you swing your sword, you use this spell, you use this materia. Like, it's all your own shit. You throw up a potion, like, it's all you. So I thought that was really, really cool that they did that as well. But yeah, I mean, the one thing, and James kind of brought this up as well, is that they could have left out. So I've never been a fan of the roulette system that they had up in the top left. I think it's dumb, because like, you're just waiting on luck for you to get a limit breaker. It's kind of dumb, versus like, if you take a shit ton of damage, you're about to fight, you've taken so much damage, now you have a limit breaker, now you can, unleash some fucking damage back, which is what I'd rather have. So now you're just waiting for luck, to where it's like, well, if you want, more luck, put more luck on it. It's like, yeah, but then I'm sacrificing damage or health or something somewhere else. It's a dumb system. Never been a fan of it, but it's like, I'll just make fucking Zack a goddamn tank, and then I don't have to fucking worry about it. Then I'll just survive long enough till finally they're like, hey, you get a limit breaker. So whatever. But what James pointed out is that they want to do the battles like a normal RPG, and kind of like how they did in the original game, where you just running and then out of nowhere like enemies just jump out and now you got to fight. It's like a normal RPG. But they always go, I think it's like battle starting or something like that. And then like right now I'm like super fucking leveled compared to where I'm supposed to be in the story. So I'm like fucking like 3-shotting most of the shit that I fucking see. So as James jumped in, he's watching me go through this room, and I'm 1-shotting everything. So it's like, battle started, conflict ended. Battle started, conflict ended. Battle started, conflict ended. The entire time.
Like battle starting, and then like once he kills everybody, then it's like conflict ended. Then he continues. It was like he was going into like it was like it looked like the same fucking room, just like over and over, where there's about to be fucking people just pop out of nowhere, so you expect to like battle starting, and there's like kills him. Conflict ended, and he's gonna take this turn and go around to another fucking room, looks just like the one he just left. And he's like, dude, holy shit! Didn't know somebody else was gonna be in here, you know. But like consistently, like I mean, it was every 10 seconds.
So they should have just took that away. I have zero issues with the constant fights because that's just a normal RPG. But to battle started, conflict ended. Battle started, conflict ended. Battle started, conflict ended. It's like,
yeah, you're gonna hear that in your sleep.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
I am too, and I only watched for like 10 minutes.
But they did a really good job with the graphics. The game looks fucking amazing. It's gorgeous.
It does look good.
I just got to the part where Zach is finally first class, so been rocking around with that. I was wondering because it's like I kept getting all this equipment. It's like you can only slot 2 or 4 materia, and I'm like, why can't I get fucking more materia? It shows 2 empty slots right here, and it's like, go get in your first class outfit, which is no different than a second class outfit, besides the fact that it's black and not purple. And now all of a sudden you get 2 more materia slots. And I was like, okay, whatever. It's like, guess I had to be first class for I could have 6 materia. Woo! But no, I'm having a good time with it. It's really good. It just, like I said, the most powerful, like I'll put it this way. If you're a fan of the Final Fantasy series and or 7 series and you're a fan of Zack in particular, it's worth the pickup because playing the PSP version is really, really rough on anything else besides playing it on a PSP. And a lot of people don't have that, and those are like stupid fucking expensive because they're fucking rare rare relics now. So if you don't have the means to play that, I would absolutely look into getting it. Is it worth paying for a brand new game? Probably not for people who aren't like hardcore dedicated to the story. I'd say $40 is a pretty even price for people who aren't hardcore dedicated to the story, but I was going to get it obviously regardless. With that being said, like I said, graphic overhaul, amazing. The battle system alone is why I'm able to comfortably put it at that $40 range, because it's so much more fun playing it this way than it was playing it on the PSP. Like, it's not even fucking close. So with that being said, like I said, if you're definitely into Zack, it's definitely worth picking up, but it does suck because the impactful moments in the game don't land the same because the voice acting just isn't there from Zack's character. Like, it's just not.
Aww.
Like that whole scene where he shows up to Angeal's mother's house and she's laying dead on the floor and Angeal's just standing in the back with the fucking Buster Sword, and he turns around and is like, what the fuck, Angeal? He's like, are you serious? Like, is this your idea of honor? Like, that whole scene just doesn't even hit anywhere near as close. And then like he runs out after him and fucking Genesis trips him and Genesis starts fucking doing his loveless shit and Zack's just like, shut up, like just like yelling at, like, just the emotion's just not there. Like, it's just not, like, this guy is I'm not a fan. Like, I want to not be.
They would fail that hard. Like, Zack is so beloved.
Yeah, he's the number 1 fucking Final Fantasy character in Japan. Like, fucking people love him.
Like,
it's crazy.
Well, they probably have a different Japanese voice actor, to be totally honest.
For sure, obviously.
Like,
but you would think like he still has some fame everywhere else too, though. But
yeah,
you know.
I'm really disappointed to hear that the voice acting isn't impactful. Like, it really hurts.
Yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. And then they finally yesterday released that they were finally doing their pre-orders for the collector's edition of Final Fantasy 16. So I bought that. So can't wait. Oh, you get so much shit with it. I mean, I'm paying so much money for this fucking collector's edition, but god damn it, you get so much with it. You get 2 steel books, you get the game, you get this set of fucking pins that are all the heads of the Aeons in this fucking deluxe looking box, which I'm never going to take them out of the box because I don't care for pins anyway. But whatever, stainless steel pins that look fucking baller as shit. You get an entire cloth map of Valisthea, which is the whole fucking world. And then you also, because you're getting it from Square Enix, you get a house banner, a cloth banner of every single one of the houses that like you can hang up on the fucking wall and shit. And then it actually comes with a full statue bust of Ifrit ripping up the fucking phoenix like on the fucking logo, and it looks amazing.
Holy shit, that sounds awesome.
Full colored and everything. And then the box that the statue itself comes in is actually all original Japanese artwork of all the Aeons. So the box itself is like a fucking like collector's like display thing. Like it's the original Japanese artwork of every single icon in the game. So Ifrit and Odin and all of them, yeah, it's their original Japanese artwork of them. And it looks fucking awesome. But it's also $400. So it's a lot of money. To be fair, it's basically about the same I paid for Soldier First Class. So they didn't let me down. I'll put it that way. They actually gave me more than Soldier First. Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, Soldier First Class came out with a lot of like digital content. I think this gives me like one sword. No, that's right. It gives me a luck item. It's a charm that I can put on my sword in game, and it's fucking Kate Sith's paw. I was like, oh, it's kind of sad. Like it's fucking Kate Sith's fucking hand.
I have feelings about that, and they're not good ones. Damn. Hey, look, we cut off your friend's hand. Do you want to put it like? Do you want to wear it affectionately?
But they their last trailer that they did was super fucking good. They did it at the Video Game Awards, which by the way, at some point, I can't promise when it's going to happen because all of us have fucking holiday shit going on, but we will do a full like video on the fucking Game Awards full cast. Then we'll do obviously our Dead Funny Game Awards and our Dead Funny Movie Awards and blah 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 like we do every year. But they did a trailer for it, and I was listening to an interview with Yoshi P, and he's like, there's one part of the trailer we absolutely had to make sure was in there. And they're like, which one was it? And he goes, it's the part where Clive pets the dog. And he's like, good boy, because you have a dog. It's like a dog/wolf as part of your fucking party. And he's all like, because so many people ripped Square Enix a new one because you weren't able to pet the chocobos in Final Fantasy VII Remake. So many people were mad about it. So they're like, well, if we're going to have a dog literally in almost the entire part of the fucking game, we better make it to where you can pet him. So like it just shows Clive like it's a little quick like battle, all this crazy shit. Who's a good boy? Battle. Like it's pretty fucking good.
So you say that, but I've watched enough Let's Play of various YouTubers, and they're like, "Can I pet the dog?" And like when they can, they're just like. Like they're not chill. Like these are grown-ass men that are shrieking like little girls because they get to pet a dog in a game. So like, nah, that's people.
Did you see that Among Us is getting their hide and seek game now? Like,
are they making it official?
They're officially making it official. So basically, like the crewmates can use the vents and shit, and the imposters just run around trying to kill people the entire time.
Oh, so do you know how they're changing it? Because like there's a hide and seek, like it's just a way of setting up the settings to play hide and seek, which I think is my friend's favorite version when we play. They love hide and seek. It's super fun. Mostly because we get to talk the entire time and scream at whoever's the killer as they chase us across the map. It's glorious.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it got super fucking possible. So, like, they're making it to where, like, whenever you're actually hiding by stuff, it can hide your name, too, so that way your name's not just popping up over something, so that way people can fucking hide behind a chair or hide behind, fucking whatever, but you still have to do your fucking task, like, to be able to get out, obviously. And then, like I said, the crewmates can use the vents to travel around now versus the imposter can't access the vents anymore. So they physically can't use them. But they did add one new task, and it's to go pet a dog. Yeah, and so there's this little dog, and you're fucking petting it, and that was the end of the fucking trailer. Like, you see somebody petting it, and then the dude just comes up and stabs the guy in the back, like, fucking 6 times. I was like, that is going to be the fucking task that so many people die at. So many people are going to want to pet the dog, and they're going to get fucking brutally murdered down there. Every fucking game. Every game. So, yeah, no, that was a lot of fucking fun. We were having a good time talking about that and fucking watching it, so they released another fucking thing.
I'm glad that they're making it so that way your name hides. Because last time I played hide and seek, one of my friends' names, it was like 16 letters long. It was absolutely the max, and it was just boobs as big as he could make it. And then he would try to hide places, but I could see him like from the hallways. I could see his name tag, so I knew where he was. So he was the easiest one to kill. And I told him after 2 games, I'm like, FYI, like, you're super killable because you want your boobs this big.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, like I said, we'll quit teasing it, but we will do like I said, we'll do a full show on that because there were a lot of fucking trailers that came out, and I think that there's a lot of different games that will have very interesting views to certain members of the staff. So I'm kind of interested to see how that goes. I'm not so much as interested in the Game Awards because fucking the trailers, like they were the high point this year. Like there were so many fucking trailers. It was so good. So we'll definitely look into those and all that fun stuff. But we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. If you guys enjoyed this content, make sure you like and subscribe. You turn on that notification. That way you get notified next time we upload another video. Hit us in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts and views on some of the stuff that we talked about. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next time.